one was from Hall Signs. Remember we had the incorrect posts.
Oh, okay, so they're correct now.
Yes, we have the correct ones and I have the signs on my vehicle, so that was the refund.
Okay.
That one's outstanding. You didn't cash it until after the first of the year.
The signed order, huh?
Yes, they're in my car actually right now.
I watched the semi go down that alley again the other day.
Ah, looks like
It's
there's.
gotta be your GPS then on that one. What would be an idiot to think, I'm gonna turn this great big truck and go down this alley on his own? Who would do that?
That's all right, like you said, it is.
Yeah.
I wanna do something about that over there between me and Pitches. They got good training going there, and they got plenty of room there, cool down there.
Okay.
I wanna get some brick that put in there,
All right.
you know, just about like that, something like that. Line it up concrete, you know, and
All right.
fix it neat.
Sounds good to me. Charlie, you have any problem with that? Bob did some riprap for
It's on his side of the road, so you'll be able to adjust it. Nothing else is, say something about,
And up here, around there, they just run right out in there and out in the yard, big ruts. I'm gonna figure it out. We'll get it done. Yes.
Well, how's Purdue gonna do, Margot? Oh, that's right, they're not playing.
I do hope they win. If,
It'd be good for the state.
oh man, they're really doing good. Yeah, I do, yeah,
Hurts to say that, doesn't it?
yeah. And those, and the quarterback, and the running back's already up for
Oh, yeah.
12, so I don't know. We'll see. Especially the quarterback, freshman.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
he's first round draft pick. Maybe first draft pick, I imagine.
Wow. Downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one right here, for you to get a ready.
Oh. Thank you.
Well, you used to have an extension cord plugged in. Oh, we still have them back behind me. You
Oh.
plug them behind me, got an extension cord.
What's that 5%?
Oh my.
Just put it by where you said.
Yeah.
You had a good Christmas.
What's it, years ago, and it's been nervous.
Okay, I think that's all I have.
All right, everybody got anything to sign? Okay, any old business?
I did, reach out to our attorney about the single-wide ordinance. No response. We've reached out to him a couple times, yeah.
All right, I'm calling Attorney from Jasper, I'm tired of waiting on that guy. Or Ladoni, wherever you wanna call him. He's been in plenty of time.
If you have any idea when they're gonna put the water down the courthouse?
I've not heard anything.
Gress was supposed to get with Bill on that. He was putting together a, estimate. And that was.
I did receive an invoice from Utility Supply. Parts were bought, I think on New Year's Eve. Or at least that's when it was invoiced.
The 22nd. This was from Gress. I'll be working on that quote towards the end of the week and also a separate one for downspouts.
What do we need down
I don't know. But they do want a 4-inch line going into the firehouse.
So where are we paying for that?
Well, only we're gonna have to pay for it is really the meter. I mean, it's an install, right?
Because Bill wasn't sure who was paying for what, and I'm not sure what the scope of the.
I mean, well-
was.
the courthouse? They pay all up the hookup and everything, hook it over the meter part of it.
Yeah.
Did they have to buy that, that special tool they want to use?
Oh, that I don't
They
know.
don't think they're even gonna check the water off to put that line in.
Yeah, he's gonna, Gress is gonna hot tap it.
Yeah.
But you're tapping a 4-inch line with a 4-inch line, how well that's gonna work, I don't know. He said he can do it, so.
You can do it.
Even did
If he breaks it, it's on him, so.
That line does run on the side of the park, you know.
Yeah, it's on the park side.
That's what I thought. Go around the road down there at the corner.
Yeah, the corner comes back onto that side, yeah. Yeah, it's across the road all the way up. 700 grade. Anything else? All right, new business?
Alright, so last time we were here, we talked about, looking at the additional capacity or getting more water up to your tank. I think we've given you a proposal on how to do that and made a recommendation of which alternative we thought would be best. And obviously for us, it's the cheaper alternative to put in the booster station, PRV, pressure relief valve, trying to get more water to your tank, less your supplier giving you a larger line in order to work off of.
Right.
So that will feed your tank with more water. It'll allow you to have more water in the tank to be able to get faster. And it's probably a short-term fix for a long-term solution.
Yeah.
But it would still be viable if any upgrades were made to that line in the future. You don't lose anything by putting that booster station. It's still usable.
Yeah, it would be used, yeah.
Yeah, so you're still getting value out of it, even if you're doing something short term, it'll get you where you need to be, and then hopefully as you work with your supplier, that will come through. So a couple questions. We talked about how we want to fund it. Talked to Rhonda was here last week, Michelle was here today with SIDC, looking at the possibility of an Oprah grant. She can talk to you more about that process. I kind of looked at different funding methods that might be available to the town to fund it. And there will have to be some income that has to be brought up to make that, but I don't think it's as bad as we were originally thinking. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you any advice on rates or anything like that. But what I can tell you is that based on where your revenue is and where your expenses are going, you've got enough to make make what you have. A smaller amount into a short-term debt probably would not hurt you guys financially if you wanted to do that.
In short term, meaning,
So what I'm looking at, well, short term, I shouldn't have said that. It's 30 years for the rural water finance, a 30-year loan would be the long. Now, Indiana Bond Bank also had a 20-year loan that we can take a look at, and both of those would put it somewhere in the $10 range that might be looking at later on.
that was my goal, to keep it no more than $10.
So now, a financial advisor may take a look at it. Again, I'm not a financial
Right,
advisor.
exactly, yeah, we know that.
They may look at it, be more conservative, it all depends on what they look at, but their job is to make sure that you have the right finances to be able to make your expectations. So
Right.
my job is to say, hey, if you want to do this project, you have enough momentum to at least take a look at
Right. I think we should keep our options open and look at it.
it. So, and then I asked Michelle to kind of come today and talk about the timing on the Ochre grant and kind of where we think that slots in. So if you allow me, I'll let her kind of.
Okay, sure. I'm Chuck.
How are you guys? Okra hasn't come out with a 2026 calendar yet. They usually do this in December, but looking today, all day, still haven't put it out there yet. So I am assuming that the rounds are going to be approximately the same months as they usually are for the 2 rounds a year. Kind of, we call it the spring and fall rounds. And that's basically what they are. And as I stated when we were talking about it before, a first round with Okra, Office of Community and Rural Affairs, which would be the grant that we were talking about, you guys would be eligible for either $700,000 or $750,000, depending on user rates at the time of the application, whenever it goes in. And it looks like we're probably looking at over $1 million projects, so that would be the case. If it was under, the amounts would go down a little bit for each of those cases.
For how many years you're talking, 700, what, 30 or $50,000?
Either $700,000 or $750,000 that you could apply for grant funds to go with your project.
Applied toward the $1 million+ project.
Right. Right now, proposals I'm looking at, if it's the same as it typically is, it's probably going to be due sometime in April. It's usually the 3rd or 4th week of April that those are due. And then a couple months later, it's usually June, is when the full application would be due. That would be when final commitments, if there's any site control acquisition, easements, purchase, those types of things, those would have to be done prior to that application going in, assuming it would be June in the first round.
You have to commit to that before then?
You have to have your local match funds committed to go in with the application for the grant funds, and any acquisition site control has to be known and sewed up. Easements have to be signed if that's the case. If you're doing a purchase, it has to have an option on it. You don't really want to purchase it until you know whether you're going to award it.
Right, exactly, yeah.
If it would fall to the second round, the fall round of funding, those are typically due proposal-wise in October, and then the full applications have been due right before Christmas in December, unless they change it. So, but those are the 2 rounds that we would be looking at.
But we want to shoot for spring, right? Because wouldn't the fall be?
I
more
really
crowded too?
feel that if at all possible, I think our best chances with an application for you all would be this first round this spring.
Right.
If we can get it all together. In saying that, the environmental review needs to go out yesterday, ASAP. We don't know for sure if an archaeological may need to be done on the booster station site. I believe it is potentially, but it's been disturbed or not, enough farming to call it disturbed or not type of thing. Because if not, that's a little bit more on the ER process. If they want us to do a little archaeological reconnaissance, which is a shovel throw basically. But that adds 30 to 60 days to your environmental process with shift.
The ground's been plowed and missed for 50 years, I don't think.
Yeah. It's just something we're not 100% sure until
Right,
we get that
exactly.
process going.
And the state is the organization that makes that determination. So none of us can make that until they do it.
Right.
So it's important if you guys are wanting to go ahead and move on it, we could get the ER process started. We'd have to get a few maps and some scope of work summary for sure from Commonwealth, and then Rhonda would get that out for us to the agencies that have to comment. You know, the important one right now is SHPO as far as timing and those concerns that we may have.
The rest of them don't take that long, but
No,
State Historic Preservation Office, it's a process.
right. It's always the longest one. And if you run across an archaeological, like I said, that adds a couple months to the process with them to get their clearance. And we'd have to have that all buttoned up before June, the application date.
We want to at least take a look at it.
Yeah, we went there for, we'll tell you, I'm gonna be the only one here in 30 years, but
I don't know. Maybe
you're
not.
gonna have to fight it out, you know?
And again, if it has the benefit of not only using it now, but also if you have some upgrades later on, 30 years makes, it's a system. It does benefit for the system for the time.
Yeah.
So
It's never gonna be as cheap as it is today.
it only gets more expensive.
Exactly.
You do have your income survey done. We did it.
Got a big chunk done. because Kate, look at
I will never do another one of those again. I will.
So we better use it now while we have it, right?
Yes, yes, those were terrible.
but you got nice shirts out of it.
Yeah.
And then as you're working through the environmental, assuming that you get them there, okay, I would like to start working to start getting your financing in place.
All right.
You don't have to close anything, but I think we need to get an approval.
Well, yeah, we need
More
to
than
know
two places.
what's available.
Correct,
Right now, we're still in the dark.
correct. So I think we need to start working through a couple of those avenues. We need, and Steve Brock is your
Yes.
financial advisor. We need to work with Steve to start reaching out and making contact with some of these groups to start saying, hey, where do we want to go and what's available. I think we want to do that while that process is working because we want that all timed out.
Yeah, if we could do things simultaneously, then.
I've talked to a couple of folks that work with the rural water loan, it's through Raymond James. That process looks pretty promising. Effectively, all you have to do is contact them, let them know when your next closing date is. They give you an idea, and then they actually want you to go to bid and open bids. In this case, that's not possible because of Okra's process. But
We don't know where the funding is to bid.
correct. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to go through and give them an estimate and work backwards from that way.
Right.
But the main thing is you just want to get an approval that you are qualified to borrow that money.
Right.
You don't have to do the application until for the closing until after.
Until we confirm that.
But you want to get the funding approval, which is what Okra needs, correct?
We will need a commitment of your local match, which means a letter or a document showing there's commitment of those funds.
And I would say we should be doing that while we're doing the environmental so we can
Okay,
find that out.
so, but that's, again, we don't know what the local match is gonna be, because we don't know how much loan we're gonna get.
Correct.
So how do we do that?
Right now, it's going off the estimate in your grant request, with the total project cost minus the grant amount. That would be the loan amount that you'd have to have committed for the application.
So I think we've got the estimate as of this summer, things will change,
Sure.
but the estimate as of this summer is around 1.4.
Right.
So we have to take into consideration if you have to purchase the site, if not use any pricing. So it's really that balance, whatever you can get from Okra, balance out of what it ends up being.
It's chunk of change.
But it is the lowest
Yeah,
alternative to get what you need
exactly.
of everything there.
It is.
The best option is to run a bunch of pipe through the countryside,
Yeah,
and that costs money. But
absolutely.
this is a great idea. There are state agencies that you can apply for, but for the dollar amount we're talking about between the Okra grant and the project cost, I would much rather save those sources whenever you need them for a larger project cost.
Yes.
Say if you have to
Yeah, I don't wanna
upgrade
take
the
every
lines.
dime we got and tie it up right.
Correct. I think you want to keep you want to keep, there's no reason to put a bigger pipe on your system yet until you have it coming from the other,
Exactly.
your supply. So to me, you save those state agency fundings for the big projects when you need them to come in.
Yeah, let's just use the piping we got right now.
Yeah.
And increase spray.
So it gets you there, you know, but that's what I would say, if we can do that, that's how I would like to proceed. If you want to give them the okay, then I would start working with how we get hold of Steve, and we can start working through his angles on his side.
Bob, you all right?
I think it'd be all right, better get on it, and
Charles?
see what we wanna do, because
We gotta find out where you wanna stand, so you know how to go somewhere.
I'll have to try it out and see what we're gonna come out with here.
All right.
See if we can handle it.
I'll make a motion, we vote.
The main thing, we can handle it.
All right. I'll email Steve and I'll CC you and just say that, you know, we talked and we'll say, hey, what do you think about doing this? And he'll get with you
Yeah.
on what to do next. I've worked with Steve for a long time in my previous life. I respect Steve a whole lot.
So
So.
if we can spend the dime and save a nickel, I'd like to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think just, you know, I mean, pipe costs a lot of money, and then not the side of pipe you need to run through the countryside. It's not gonna be cheap. This gets you closer to what you need without having to break the bank.
Right.
I think
Because we know it's just gonna continually be a bigger draw as time goes on.
correct.
We know there's gonna be a bigger demand for water.
Yeah, so you need to make sure you get water to your tank so that you can get out of that tank faster.
Who's the
Yeah, we
attorney?
may have a lot of houses built around here.
I know, I'm asking this question, I'm probably not curious enough.
I don't know.
You determine.
We'll
Yeah.
need to figure that out because they will have to sign off on part of it. Signing off on some stuff and maybe helping with, they have to sign off on the acquisition site and things.
If the grant goes through, what percentage will they get that grant? I mean, what percentage would we have to come up with to match it?
Whenever you apply for a water or wastewater with Okra, it is at least a 20% match.
That's
Now,
what I
most of your
thought.
matches end up being more local match because of the size and cost of projects.
In this case, it's almost,
Still be
it'll be
big.
less than 50.
Yeah, because hopefully this will be large enough to fit in good, but not so big.
Yeah.
That it's stupid money.
Yeah, I agree.
They're right good in my head anymore. Used to, we can't even move.
I mean, we gotta look at the infrastructure. I mean, we're talking that stuff, what, 50 years old now? That
Yeah.
pipe?
At least that.
Yeah. And we're gonna be increasing the pressure, so we may have a few breaks we're gonna have to take care of.
The good thing is the engineers, they built into the project cost, some of the cost of the grant administration, some of the cost of labor. So inside that 1.4 is already built in the cost of
So
the
some
piece of land.
overheads already kind of.
Correct.
Non-construction costs are included.
Okay.
It'd be that old, over 30 years.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't be that bad, 30 years. I mean, they built the system on a 30-year loan.
So one other thing, Okra does require the Buy American, Build American part of it. I don't know
So we can go
if
to China and get it done?
I think I saw they already had something.
yeah, I think they probably had some in there for we put in a 20% unknown on the Buy American
Right.
stuff. So it's not exact pricing, but it's an estimate. And honestly, if you've been doing any instruction on Buy American, it's pretty hard to nail that down
Right.
specifically. But they did do a good job of building in some of these costs into there. It's construction. Unknowns are always going to pop up
All right.
as part of that, and we'll try to mitigate that as best as we can. But I think it gives you a good opportunity. Okra, I've worked with Okra for a long time at Rural Development. It's a great partner. They do a good job as long as we can get in there and make a good case effort for it. It's a good project.
I think I probably stated it before, we will need to have a public hearing
Mhm.
before the proposal goes in and then again before the application goes in. So,
we want to stay in, Commonwealth is part of that public hearing.
It is always helpful
Yes.
whenever we talk about the scope during a public hearing, or for any questions that somebody might have in regards to pressures and lines and sizes.
You put that in the paper or something.
I actually do that for you guys. That way
I appreciate
that. Because that's a piece that I have to have, and they'll give you the affidavit, but I have to have an affidavit to upload the application and things like that as well. So.
I would not, even though I evaluated looking at some of the state and federal agencies, the timing on this is gonna push it out way beyond. So I think if you're looking at first round, I think we have a couple options. We need to start kind of knocking on doors and see if they like what we have.
Okay.
Really.
Anything else?
If I find out different dates and things, I will let you guys know. I'm
As long
hoping,
as
I'm
it's
kind of hoping
right,
at
not
this point. So, it's not sooner. So.
Round up $100,000 cash somewhere pretty easy.
You buy a whole bunch of lottery tickets.
If it comes out easy, I might not show back. I think I can all use money in a hurry.
Great, that's easy.
No, there isn't. There isn't.
Yeah.
Any other questions, you guys?
No, I think we're, right now, it's a jumping off point. We'll see
We
what happens. Get the rock over there.
That's great.
don't mind.
You guys got
That
anything?
calls some more people in there, we've got some home. They straighten it over.
Just come and listen.
Do you have any questions?
Lord, just came to listen, see what's
Yeah, that's
going on.
That's fine. We're glad you're here.
I was wondering
Mark,
where
who
Marco
got-
went.
Mark, you got any
I was
questions?
wondering where Marco went last I looked, he was sitting over there.
He got closer, he wanted to hear.
All right, you guys have any other new news?
Yeah, I just wanna, I'm gonna get that fixed up around there.
Okay.
Not sure.
You say you got them signed?
No.
Okay.
Here's that.
That's your
Oh, it's done,
There's one more meeting, it's actually open to the public too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
February 11th. I think that they.
The multi-hazard plans are due.
We used to be a part of that whenever they did them, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years ago. We played a part in that, and every once in a while, I know Rhonda was talking with them on the Martin County one here, not too long ago. I can't remember now if it's every 5 or 10.
5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mandatory for 5 years.
But that is helpful on some of the funding,
Yeah,
especially with.
show its current plan and it exists.
There's some EDA stuff too. That's very
Mhm.
Really?
They had this, like for tornadoes and stuff, the shelter.
Yeah, so they were talking about the shelters and the above ground shelters. I was shocked at how much they talked about that 'cause last time I went to the
There's some
meeting.
that's been done in like the schools and
Yeah,
safe place.
Collaboration.
yeah, safe rooms, yeah. Yeah, because 5 years ago, I don't think that that was as big of a thing as it is now. And then, of course, COVID.
So this is the Pulse Center did this.
Yes.
Putting them shelter in the house now.
Did you say?
They're putting them shelter in the house.
I know.
Concrete
I want
thing.
one.
I'll tell you now, what we doing that concrete mill?
CJ thought they were gun safes.
That's
And
what I thought
I
they
told him,
were
I
too.
said no.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that. They build safe rooms.
Yeah.
They make them storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've known a few people who've done that now.
Yeah. If I was building a home, I'd do it. I mean, you're going to pour concrete anyway, just put in some extra rebar and call it a day.
Yeah.
Big strong door.
Yeah, it's about 10 inches thick.
I've seen them in 2 new houses
Yeah.
that they were building, yeah.
I think Golden Ball makes the shelters. They're basically septic tanks, is what they are. So.
Well, Dave Rose got one up there.
Yeah, Dave has one.
Yeah, but that, well, that thing, Fires in there everywhere. I'll run out, I'll be able to shoot them off.
There's no light in there otherwise.
I thought about doing one up there, I like them on the ground, it'd be nice to have one.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've given thought to getting one for the tornadoes that are getting worse every year now.
not worth it, staying on top of the ground, I'll tell you that. I don't know.
Linton got hammered, what, twice in 1 year?
Bloomfield got it, one house in Bloomfield got crossed.
Yeah.
Wasn't that house down here, off of 56?
Yeah.
Was that one went north, one went south?
Yeah.
Kind of the same area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else? Wow,
Well,
this is a record. Thank you so much for coming.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
And it's not snowing. So-
Not yet, hang on. I know that it's still asleep, so.
I was thinking on my way out here and the sun, I was like, I remember it was sometime last year whenever I came to one of